So I would like to welcome the fabulous Rae White, who is just a shining pillar of the community. So Rae White, they them, a queer, non-binary, transgender writer and the author of poetry collections Milk Tea, UQP 2018, and Exactly As I Am, UQP 2022. They were awarded the Arts Queensland Thomas Shapcott Poetry Prize in 2017 and have been shortlisted for the Prime Minister's Literary Awards, Queensland Literary Awards and the Victorian Premier's Literary Awards. Rae won the 2022, there's more guys, this is so good, the 2022 Woollahra Digital Literary Award for Digital Innovation for their Bitsy poem game stand-up, which was also featured in Pride at Play and given an Honourable Mention in the Freeplay Awards. Rae is the creative director and founder of the community poetry initiative Uplift Poetry and the founding editor of #NBLife, a journal for non-binary and gender diverse characters. Please help me welcome Rae to the stage.
Thank you. That bio is quite long in retrospect. Also, I took the pink theme very seriously. I love pink, it's a great colour, because people are like, oh, it's such a girly colour, and I'm like, oh, sweetie, no, it's just gay. I'm sorry. Oh, it's also pink is for everyone. I've had some things published. I know that the QUT Literary Salon folks also encouraged me to speak about publishing and stuff. So I'll do that after reading some poems. So I tried to choose some poems that had pink themes or salty themes. This one, I give a trigger warning for, I guess, feeling really sad about being trans, but it ends on a positive note, sort of. That's kind of my vibe. This poem is called Bloody. It's almost midnight again. I'm on tiptoe, unbalanced tiles, judging chapped souls. I'm picking pimples in the mirror with glee by candlelight. My nose bruised plum, bloodied pink. I sigh my name, watch my lips cold sore quiver. I repeat, this time louder, each vowel tasted and earned. A third time, and my grainy lips stretch and tingle, split, kiss, crag, and tingle. I'm bleeding into my own mouth. The mirror's current ripples, swelling in response to worthy suffering and fatigue. And there they are. A future self-spectre, spellbound, flickering, clear-skinned, sleep-full, smiling. I'm transfixed, transported, with prospects and what-ifs, bargaining with myself, briskly neglecting the fateful crescendo. Transgender. Tentative, I kiss the mirror and bloody up my own mouth's evolution. It's almost midnight again. And that's kind of a poem that I feel like realising that you're trans or queer can take a very long time. But at some point you're just like, yeah, I'm just going to have a go at this. And it all works out, hopefully. I run a journal called NBLife, which is for non-binary and gender diverse creatives. We just closed submissions, but we are opening them again at the end of the year. I run it with Alison Evans, who's an awesome young adult writer as well. We'll be opening submissions again later in the year, but we publish pretty much every fortnight or so, and also paid contributors through donations. So yeah, definitely, if you're non-binary or gender diverse, please check it out. I was encouraged to bring flyers, which I printed at Officeworks. So I will leave them somewhere if you want to pick them up. This poem is, yeah, you know what, this is just me being salty and sassy. This one's called paint me over. I suspect the poised surface of me is a post-photo nightmare to you. I watch you watch me bend over, the creak and heat of my back unrelenting. Could you commodify this? The pink of me as I slink and relax, objectified in the shallows. Cold leaves palming my back of my neck. Tell me, am I trope or trouble to you? Is my portraiture distraction or abstraction? Finding it hard to decide between two readings? Same, babe, same. Some days I feel like the only way to transcend is to ask you to oil me up, spittle me with colourful flecks, dismantle and curve my degendered bones. God, just 3D print me new ones, crafted from second-hand canvases. Just peel and paint me over already. So both our biases are blemish cleansed. Yes, I think I'm finally ready. Do I read some? Yeah, I should read some more salty gender poems. This poem is about having to, when you change like your name or your gender marker, the ludicrous amount of forms that you have to fill in. There's too many, and a lot of them are like, that's interesting. You're changing your gender marker. Do you want to be Mr. or Ms. or like, I don't know, Reverend? And I'm like, none. So yeah, this is some kind of metaphor for that gender marker. You fax the emailed, printed, scanned copy of the 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 government form to the sun-cracked machine on the beach. The waves lap it up because they love repetition. Tiny hermit crabs tinker across square plastic edges, tickling the machine with their claws. It laughs, grey skin splitting in fissures, choking out faxes with guffaws. Papers strewn akimbo on the beach, where X marks the spot. X marks the X marks the X marks the X in the end. It's all in the ocean. X's cruising waves like they own the joint. And maybe they do in the end. In the end, even the crabs slide out with the tide. I like how no one knows when my poems end. Please no, I was like, please applaud at the end because we're good. One more gender poem and then some hopeful plant poems, but also kind of poems that hate landlords. Sorry, anyone in the audience. So good support. This one is called Rainbow Confetti Pixels, and it's a poem I read a lot because I enjoy reading it out loud. And it's got a reference to a 90s show called The Trapdoor, which kind of really shows my age, but that's fine. If anyone remembers The Trapdoor, it was, one person, yeah, good. One single person, yeah. To be honest, I hardly remember it all, but there was like a monster in a trapdoor, and we just like kept on being like, "Feed me!" So like that's the reference in case anyone. I remember very little other than that. I'm assuming it's on YouTube. Anyway, Rainbow Confetti Pixels. This poem will date me. It's fine. Non-binary people don't have expiry dates, so. Coming out as non-binary is like yelling into a void, but the void has disappeared and been replaced by change rooms in Target. And they're not even echoey enough to surround sound your voice so you can yell, "Oi, I'm neither of these, mate." Instead, they're just small stalls getting smaller and smaller and playing the same 80s and 90s hits on repeat every damn time. You're ushered and tense. Rinse, repeat. You could rebel, but you don't. You enter the change room. Oh, there's also swears in this. I don't think we need a warning for that by now. You enter the change room, but it's actually a toilet cubicle. Because at the end of the day, being trans is all about fucking lose, am I right? Coming out as non-binary is you staring big-eyed at the toilet who's flapping their lid saying, "Feed me!" We get it. Kind of like that 80s show, The Trapdoor. I prepped this is good. Because all trans kids grew up in the late 80s and early 90s and never aged. And none of them can be any older or younger than me. Because it's all just a fad. Like butterfly clips and Tamagotchis. Am I right? But they're back. Tamagotchis. You can feed them and clean their poop just like you could back in the day. Because back in my day, I was still searching the mobile library bookshelves for words that described who I was. Because coming out as non-binary is a whole goddamn lifelong process. Like, step 1, brush the poop of your binary existence out the door with a pixelated broom. Step 2, replace the poop with butterfly clips in all different colours, mirroring your bedroom's purposefully rainbowed bookshelf. Step 3, scatter hundreds and thousands like rainbow confetti pixels in the air. Step 4, yell, "Just fuck off, mate," to the demanding toilet binarists and their trans-trender theories. Because today's trans trend is not feeding the trapdoor, all those monsters. Today's trans trend is feeding yourself love and goodness. Today's trans trend is believing you are non-binary enough, no matter what the monsters say. Today's trans truth is that we've always been here. Hundreds and thousands of years of us existing and echoing in surround sound pixel-filled skies, writing our words and stories into the historic void, coming out on repeat, rinse, repeat, rebel, repeat, every damn time, but never, ever disappearing. Thank you. I'm going to read a poem from, it's a longer one from my first book. And in terms of, like publishing, which I was encouraged to speak about, I don't know, I went to QT, I did a writing degree, I did fine arts. It was great. And then I didn't write for 10 years because I thought I was a piece of shit. I thought that I was not good enough. I thought I would never make it. I thought I would never have a book published. I thought I was one of the worst writers that I'd ever met. And then I just couldn't, like for 10 years I didn't write, and then I thought, you know what, I can't not do this. I can't like live with myself. That's very dramatic, but like calm down. But like I couldn't, bear the thought that I would never get published, and that I wouldn't, like be able to write poetry. Like I really wanted to do it. So I was like, right, I'm going to get published by 30. And I got published in a zine, and I thought that was really cool. And then I made some zines, and then I entered an award, and I got a book published from that. And so like, you too can just be a scrappy zinester and not necessarily believe in yourself for many years and still have published books. And I think like, there's so much weight on, the idea of getting published, of being like out there doing, writers' festivals and like, having this many social media followers and all this kind of crap. And I think like at the end of the day, if you, hold in your heart, this is so like, I went to therapy this morning, so this is like really, this is a bit wanky. If you hold in your heart that like, writing is the key, like I think that's what will keep driving you. I feel like that was what kept driving me, and like it's what has helped me get published and do the things that I want to do, rather than it all being about, I don't know, the clout or whatever. And let's face it, like, we're writers, we're not film stars. Like, I don't want to that's mean and disparaging. But like, I'm never going to be Dan Brown, and that's okay. Like, I'm never going to be Stephen King. but yeah, I think you know, the work is the most important thing, and I think community is another really important thing. And it's like one of the reasons, you know, why we're all here tonight, and it's why I, you know, started Uplift, which is a poetry community hub, because I really want that, you know, that community, and I think, you know, it's such a beautiful, thriving space, you know, student spaces as well as like community spaces. I think that's how writing should be. It should be more about community and the people rather than about, I don't know, fancy awards. I say having a bio with fancy awards. I'm a hypocrite. It's fine. You can be two things at once. Anyway, go forth and write is my like motto for the day. And also, you're all absolutely incredible. Like the two people that we've heard from so far, that's so good. That's amazing. So yeah, you'll all do great. All right, I'm gonna stop waffling and having some sort of like pep talk. I'm channeling my therapist. I'm gonna read some poems about plants and landlords and stuff. This one's called Diary of a Lavender Plant. It's from the point of view of a plant, you know, as you do. Home, the garden centre. 1. We touch each other, thistled and humming with the breeze. We know not to lace plaits between us. The gardeners hate that. But sometimes we can't help it. The intimacy is too strong when you smell at each other. That sweet, friendly scent of lavender. It swaddles us in a comforting aura of dozing dreams and daytime naps. And so we twine ourselves at night and come morning, are wound apart, unplaited and watered in the warm sunlight. 2. Today, there are bees, and also children. The children are loud and rub our leaves between their fingers because their parents tell them it's the best way to get our scent all over their mucky paws. But the bees, they're singing. Their legs scratching and tugging, their bodies bristling against our dark flowers. And it feels good to know their journey is part of ours. And their murmuring wings chant with our whispering leaves as the breeze weaves through the nursery. Journey, a road in Rosalie. I'm carried by the edge of my pot, swaying down the street. My flowers tickle their hand, they're singing. They swap me from left hand to right. On this side, there's a playground, and I move in time with the kid on the swing. Leaves fluttering, dress billowing. On the left, I see trees, much bigger than any I've met. And I wonder exactly how big trees can get before they waver and collapse. Or maybe they never fall. And like them, I'll keep growing upwards until the tips of my flowers touch clouds. Home, a balcony in Milton. 1. I'm placed in full sun on a balcony with mismatched tiles, haphazard, well-swept tiles. I'm warmed in full sun until my flowers with their dark purple bodies begin to droop. I'm watered in low light as the sun sinks and lorikeets screech keenly through crackling gum trees. 2. I move to a table where the sun glints off the surface and onto my leaves. They talk to me often and caress my purple petals with their fingertips. They tell us we're growing well. The tomato plant beside me is swollen and fruiting, their grassy scent blending with mine. The succulents sun themselves, tanning the bloated leaves that cloak their new chicks. The sun is here, and it is good. And I want to reach beyond the table, over the edge, to where the lorikeets swing. I want to see how far the sunlight goes.